assure you.
Okay.
It's very interesting to be here, being asked to help the Mongolians to get back to their culture, to their religion, and being confronted with quite a few obstacles. Like, we got a statue from Kathmandu. It's an offering for the Mongolian people, and we had to struggle for almost a week with the customs to get all the paper sorted out, to get the statue to our center.
I'm quite happy to be playing the pioneer role, maybe it's the Australian in me, to go in at the beginning, to set up the physical situation for people to study and practice Dharma, and then move on, and go to totally unexpected places like Mongolia was totally unexpected, and having to overcome the problems and stick it out is wonderful for your mind. I mean, if everything were very easy, one would never grow in Dharma. I've participated in the development of monasteries in the West, in France, Australia, and now Mongolia.
Mongolia used to be a Buddhist country. Is Buddhism what Mongolia needs now? Is it Buddhism? What would you say? What are the needs of the country, materially, emotionally, spiritually?
I think Mongolia needs a hero. They need one person who will inspire them in Buddhism and inspire them to reawaken their heritage. It is just below the surface, but it is being suppressed by materialism, lack of trust in each other, which is quite reasonable. When I think emerging from the totalitarian regime, where people's initiative is squashed, where it's a sort of survival of the fittest. But in order to not get sucked into Western materialism and Western beliefs, which I think are so superficial, they need this hero to inspire them to revive their Dhamma. It could be a politician, it could be a monk or a nun. I mean, I don't know who it would be, maybe even a famous movie star. But it's a very personal thing. It's not an economic system or a political system. Mongolians will follow people. I've had, I guess you could say, a good basic education in Buddhist philosophy and done many retreats. My knowledge can't compare to the the lamas who graduate from the Tibetan monasteries. But from the very beginning, the Western monks and nuns were encouraged to teach what they knew and try to inspire, or actually be inspiring for others. So this is the role I've played for the last 25 years, really. Teaching introductory Buddhism, helping people gain confidence in those who are interested in practicing Buddhism.
It's washing.
Uh-huh. Now, you don't put the zamask between the glass and the wood? Do you not do that? And so here I am.
Do you like it?
Sure. We don't have to stay if we don't like. It's a challenge. It's a big challenge living in Mongolia. Not just the weather, but the whole totally different cultural approach to life. And it can be very frustrating. In communicating, particularly when I have to communicate through a translator, which is always leaves a gap. You don't really know if you've got the message across. Straight up to about here, and it's flexible water pipe actually. So it could gradually curve and just go right along here.
Controlling, every work has to be controlled here. I'm responsible for two main building projects. One is the big monastery at Camden, the other one is the small community center at the ground where we have the nunnery. And it's amazing, you really have to control every step. And the builders mostly take advantage. They're using the baddest quality of cement. They don't use enough cement, just using sand. And for me it was very sad when I came here the first time, when they started building, that I had to break down the whole wall and start again from the foundation, because they just didn't use the right material. Well, in the past there hasn't been a
tradition for women to be ordained in Mongolia. There have been women's communities, but they weren't living in vows. So this really is the very beginning of a new phase in Mongolian Buddhism, the ordination of women. The biggest problem is themselves, their own minds, social attitudes. They're told, not just by their families, but by doctors, that a woman being celibate and not having children is detrimental to their health. And they're all told completely that they get extremely sick, which is rubbish. But
Can you see the dirt? Can you? Can you see the dirt? Oh,
Just that.
it's from cooking.
So you're working too hard. That's good.
There are times when I feel like throwing in the towel. But Bakula Rinpoche, who is one of the greatest lamas that I've met, and I feel very fortunate at least to have met Bakula Rinpoche in Mongolia. 6 months ago I didn't tell him how I was feeling, but he sort of looked at me and said, "Don't run away from Mongolia." So those words are very reassuring. He stayed here for 12 years and he did a wonderful work in beginning the revival of Dhamma in Mongolia. And so when I know that I have beings like Bakula Rinpoche supporting me, I mean, how can I say I'm unhappy?
One reason why I'm still here is maybe selfish, but I really think I'm able to improve my mind in a way I would never be able somewhere else. Because without training in patience, without training in compassion, without letting go of ideas, of concepts, one gets depressed in Mongolia.